Hi, I'm Josh Silverberg,
I'm Chris Lewaine.
and today we're going to talk about Nicholas Carr's IT article, IT Doesn't Matter.
For MISY 427.
So in the first section of Nicholas Carr's article, he talks about the vanishing advantage, and the main point of this is the comparison between proprietary technologies and infrastructural technologies and how IT fits into that dual model. So I'm going to explain what we believe a proprietary technology to be, which is any kind of good or service which can be copyrighted or owned by one company that might give it a competitive advantage. Whether a good example would be in the pharmaceutical industry when they patent a new drug that only they can sell and capitalize on it and no one else can. So Chris is going to talk about infrastructural technologies.
An infrastructural technology is when it's something that offers value across all industries, not just one, so it hits at a macroeconomic level. So it only helps in the near term, as when companies start figuring out what it is, they can implement it into their own industries and it becomes the same.
All right, awesome. So the article talks about how IT needs to kind of fit into this model. In my opinion, I think that IT started off as proprietary technology in which a few organizations were really capitalizing on and giving them a competitive advantage. But today, it's become an infrastructural technology because most of the applications that are being used can be purchased by any company through a third-party vendor. So I would say that IT is now an infrastructural technology.
I also agree that it started off as proprietary and now as infrastructural, because now internet and computers are now part of everyday life, as back then having a computer was actually a real investment, while getting computers is relatively easy to set up.
The next part of the article talks about whether or not IT offers a competitive advantage, and in my opinion it does only temporarily, but it's not sustainable over the long term. This is because a company might find a new best practice, but it's easily replicatable by other companies in the industry. This is due to the rapid price deflation that's been experienced in the industry, as well as the fact that IT is becoming more and more affordable to the masses.
I have to slightly disagree that I believe IT systems can bring a competitive advantage, even though it's more affordable to bring in, because it's how you use it, not how the standard is. So you could have the same thing, but the innovation comes in when someone implements a different way of using it that gives them the competitive advantage.
In the article, Nicholas Carr brings up an excellent point about IT buyers negotiating contracts with the IT vendors. So I think that this would be an exceptionally difficult thing to do, to get all the companies together to say to the vendors, stop forcing us to upgrade the technology every few years. But if it was doable, I think that it would provide enormous cost-saving benefits to the companies. He points out that most of the workers in these companies only need the computers for email, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and these kinds of things, which can be supported on any software. In my own life, I worked for a company recently using Windows 7 on their computers, and it fulfilled all the needs of the workers, and it wouldn't have made any sense to upgrade to Windows 8, Windows 10, or anything like that.
I have to agree that unless the technology is a big game changer, there's no reason for an upgrade every 3 years. Because it's cool technology, can do different things, but unless it's adding a great benefit, then there's no reason to.
Another interesting point that Nicholas Carr brings up in the article is whether or not you should let other companies take the first step in diving into new IT technology. In my opinion, from a risk perspective, it is advantageous to let other companies make mistakes and spend the money finding the best practices with this new IT technology, and then simply to follow suit.
I have to say it all depends on the industry. If you're built online or offline. If you're built offline, you're already used to different practices without IT built into it. But if you're built specifically online, you have to keep trying different things to stand out and be innovative.
So now we're to the part of our presentation where we're going to discuss whether IT matters or whether IT doesn't matter. In my opinion, yes, IT does matter. It is a critical part of any modern day business, but it's not what it used to be, and it's not going to let your company stand out among the competitors. goes right in line with everything I've been saying this entire presentation, and that's how I feel.
To go back on a previous point I made, it all depends. If you're a company that didn't use IT as a critical part of informing it, you probably don't really need it. But if you're a company that built upon IT as a foundation, then it's definitely